Hello boys, hope you're well. Hope that you had a good start to your week and that you are enjoying yourselves. Quite excited, quite an exciting day actually, because I've seen a few of the grade 7s already today. Normally it's on Wednesday. Anyway, this is your yoga session for this week. I hope you've been enjoying the yoga. This yoga is going to be based off of the stuff that we've done in the past, and you're going to now start holding the poses for a longer time to hold or to strengthen those poses and strengthen the specific muscles that you're using and to push them further. So for instance, for the flexibility ones, to hold your flexible pose for a longer time or to become more flexible by holding the pose for a longer time. So to start off with, nice and easy, child's pose. So already down into your child's pose, knees shoulder width apart, feet flat to the floor, bum on your heels, and you pushing out as far as you can with your arms. Once in that position, hold for, I think it's 8 to 10 breaths. Yeah, I want you to hold that for 8 to 10 breaths, nice deep breaths, hold it all the way through, should be quite relaxing for you. Try and push, keep your bum touching your heels, and try and stretch out as far as you can, okay? Next up is the Garland Pose. So this one's a little bit different, a new one that you guys haven't done before. I was supposed to add it to last week's video, but I made a mistake with it, but anyway, here it is. So you're going to start off shoulder width apart, heels on the floor. You're going to go down into a squat position, so that's as far as I can go. And then you're going to hold that position for as long as you can, well not as long as you can, for 8 to 10 breaths or 5 to 8 breaths depending on how good you are at it. The deeper you can go, the better, so try and get your bum as close to the ground as possible, but keeping your heels flat on the floor, not leaning forward, not leaning back, but just using your, leaning onto the heels of your feet, okay? So you're not falling over, you're not falling forward, but focus on holding that, okay? Next up, downward facing dog. You guys know this one. Feet shoulder width apart, arms out in front of you, and you're just stretching, and you're trying to go out as far as you can, and holding there. Okay, try and get your feet far back as possible. You should feel the stretch in the back of your hamstrings into your calves, and into your sides, on the lateral sides of your body. Okay. Next up, the tree pose, nice and easy. One foot on the floor, other foot up, next to your knee, and then you're holding into this position here, or you can hold up above your head here. Or out wide, depends on where you feel comfortable. Hold the pose, try and balance it out. So on the opposite side, same thing, on your knee, and holding it here, holding the pose here, however you feel. Hold it for 8 to 10 breaths. You can close your eyes if you want to, if you're able to. If you're not, hold it for 8 to 10 breaths and just relax. Next up, bridge pose. Nice and simple, on your back, on your bum, punch up, feet flat on the floor, head flat on the ground, bum up, and you're going to hold that pose for 8 to 10 breaths. Keep your back nice and straight, don't arch it, or don't drop your hips. Keep your hips pushing out, and hold it there. You should feel the stretch in your lower back, and the strengthening in your lower back. Hold it for 8 to 10 breaths, and then relax. Okay. Next up, plank pose. Nice and easy. Normal plank position, feet shoulder width apart, arms shoulder width apart. You're going to hold in your plank position, straight arms, hold for 8 to 10 breaths. Activating your core nice and tight, keeping your back nice and straight, legs back, and bum all in a straight line. Okay. Next up, you've got your seated forward fold. So on your bum, legs out in front of you, nice and easy. You're going to take your hands, fold forward, and hold. So you can try and hold for as long as you can, or for 8 to 10 breaths. So try and stretch yourself as far as you can, and then hold it for 8 to 10 breaths. Okay. So for you guys, try and get your toes. If you're on your toes, try and get your balls of your feet. If you're on your balls of your feet, try and get behind. And if you can, try and get the heels, and then tuck your head in between your knees. And then you can hold it for 8 to 10 breaths in that position. Okay. Next up, your standing forward fold, so similar to the seated one, except now you're standing, feet shoulder width apart. You're going to go to the ground, you're going to try and hold, touch. So for some of you, you might find it quite difficult to touch, so try and get your touch. Try and get your knuckles flat or your hands flat. If you can even hold it back and bring your knees, bring your head to your knees, or you can even hug your knees and hold for 8 to 10 breaths, depends on how flexible you are. So from the side, nice and simple, there, hold it for 8 to 10 breaths. Okay, you should feel the stretch all the way down from the top, from your glutes all the way down into hamstrings, into your calves all the way down. Okay, you should feel quite stretched out after that and quite flexible. Then next up, easy pose. Name suggests it, quite easy, quite a relaxing pose. So nice and easy, you're just going to go into seated easy pose. Feet crossed, shins crossed, feet flat on the floor, and you're just going to hold that pose. You're going to hold that pose for 8 to 10 breaths. Okay, so you want to keep your back nice and straight, facing forward, head out looking in front of you, and you're going to push your knees down, push your knees down using your arms. And you're going to hold that and you're going to breathe for 8 to 10 breaths, nice deep into your nose, out to your mouth. Okay, last but not least, the Cobblers Pose. We've done this one before, similar to easy pose. So you go from that, bring your feet together, and then you're just going to push your hips out with your arms. So you're going to push, you're going to grab your feet, and you're going to push down with your arms, out as far as you can. You should open up your hips, and your hips, and then you should feel it quite nicely in there. Try and push out as far as you can to try and get that out, and then also keep your back nice and straight. So pushing out, keep your back nice and straight. You should feel the stretch all the way up in your groin and through your hips, and you should feel quite loose and flexible and supple after that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the yoga workout. If you have any questions on anything, if you find something too tough or something too difficult, post a question on the Google Classroom, and we're more than welcome to help you. Looking forward to seeing you boys soon. Have a good one. Cheers.